You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you, I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you, I worship you. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you, I worship you. You are here, moving in this place. I worship you, I worship you. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you, I worship you. You are here, turning lives around. I worship you, I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you, I worship you. You are here, you're turning lives around. I worship you, yeah, I worship you, 'cause you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. 'Cause you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Yes, you are, you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. And that is who you are. 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 'Cause that is who you are. 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 'Cause even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop, you never stop working. You never stop, you never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop, you never stop working. You never stop, you never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop, you never stop working. You never stop, you never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop, you never stop working. You never stop, 'cause that is who you are. And that is who you are. That is who you are. And that is who you are. You are promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. 'Cause you are way maker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. 'Cause you are way maker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are way maker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. Everyone needs compassion. So Spirit, break out. Break our walls down. Spirit, break out. Heaven come down. Oh, Spirit, break out. Break our walls down. Spirit, break out. And heaven come down. Spirit, break out. Break our walls down. Spirit, break out. Break our walls down. Break our walls down. Spirit, break out. Break our walls down. Spirit, break out. Heaven come down. I know you find it hard to see past all your scars. I know what you've done, the person you've become. come. So why are you running? Why do you try to hide? I vow to love you, and I won't change my mind, no matter how hard you try. Your healer is here, your healer is here. Lay down your sorrows, your healer is here, he's drying your tears. Come and be whole again. Your heart is what I want. Broken, your heart is what I want, 'cause that is who you are. So why are you running? Why do you try to hide? I vow to love you, and I won't change my mind, no matter how hard you try. How hard you try. Your healer is here, your healer is here. Lay down your sorrows, your healer is here, and he's drying your tears. And come and be whole again. Your healer is here, your healer is here. Lay down your sorrows, your healer is here, and he's drying your tears. Come and be whole again.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to our final night of Real Cardiff 2021, and where we're going to exploring the topic of hope. I'm Laura, and this is Silas.
Hello. I can't believe it's the last night.
I know.
It's flown by.
It really has.
It totally has flown by. I'm kind of sad actually. Yeah, this is night 5. We've had a whole series of lunch bars and evening meetings, and as Laura said, we're culminating with hope, which I think is a fantastic way to.
Yeah, well, I think a good note to end on. Yeah.
Totally. Now, just as we've done the last couple of nights, we're going to be having a Slido poll to kick off our evening. So you can head over to slido.com and put in the code RealNight5 as it's appearing on the screen. All those are linked in the comments below. And the question there is, what has given you hope in the past year? So yeah, jump on that and throw some responses in, and we'll come back to that shortly. First of all, Laura, what has been the highlight of your week?
It's a good question. I think for me, I really liked all the events on Wednesday. I really liked the topic of freedom, what Luke spoke about at the lunch bar and the questions that were asked, some really good, challenging questions that he answered about whether Christianity restricts our freedom. And then Fergal speaking in the evening about freedom and hearing a story about like what that looks like in practice. So yeah, I really liked Wednesday's events. What about you?
It was well coordinated.
Yeah.
Freedom.
Yeah, it's almost as if it was planned.
Really? Oh. My highlight, I really enjoyed last night's talk. Just hearing about real love and how we can find belonging. Luke brought that to us, and I thought it was really fantastic.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, I really enjoyed last night. I'm looking forward to another fantastic night tonight.
I have to say, I've liked all the events this week, but if I had to pick a favorite, and yeah, so as we mentioned, if you have been tuning in for the evening events, we have also had lunchtime events, which are also on our Facebook page.
Yes, so on that, you can go back and watch any of the streams that we've done this week, lunchtime or evening. They are all on the Facebook page, Real Week Cardiff, and they are also up on YouTube. And yeah, you can go and watch, even if you've already watched them, you can go back and watch again. And yeah, maybe if you want to watch them with a friend this time, go ahead. I'm sure it'll be fantastic. Fantastic. I think we're going to move on to our Slido.
I think we are. Let's have a look at our responses.
Just a reminder, the question was, what has given you hope in the past year?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a weird, strange year, an unprecedented year, we might say.
That word was so popular at the start, and then it quickly dipped when it was kind of the same going on. But it's still unprecedented, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Let's have a look what people mind. We have a lot of responses.
Aye.
Oh.
Do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, this is the first one I spotted. My plant collection surviving the winter. That is impressive. Well done to whoever that was. Very and well also done. Their plant, I don't know if this is the same person, but someone's plant collection growing. I see why that's given you hope. I feel like I have acquired more plants over the past year as well. I don't think I owned any plants before 2020, before the pandemic hit, but yeah.
I've got a big cheese plant at home, which is called Aphelius.
Yeah.
And I thought Aphelius meant hope. And so I was going to bring him along tonight and be like, this is my hope, but it means help, which is close, but not quite what we were looking for.
Yeah, we were hoping we'd have him here and be like, this is
third host.
Literally a third host, and then we're like, it doesn't quite link in as well as we'd hoped it would.
And he doesn't talk much. He's not a big talker. Right, let's keep going. We have got some fantastic things. Captain Tom, he definitely brought us some hope. Just like seeing the number that he raised grow daily that was fantastic. It's such a reprieve from all the news at that time. We've then got the NHS. That, yes, again, massive hope. Just the constant dedication of the people working in the NHS has just been it's been fantastic all throughout. And of course, we heard from Georgie. Was it last night? It was last night.
Yeah, last night.
Just about her experience in the NHS. Again, if you want to catch up, it's all online. We've got the end of the pandemic. I think we are all hopeful for that.
So excited.
Can't wait.
So excited. Lidl Bakery. Someone watching these past few nights is a big fan of Lidl Bakery, because I think last night we had a response about, was it the people's favourite fictional love story between them and Lidl Bakery? And we've got another Lidl Bakery fan tonight.
But if it was fictional,
Oh, so maybe it's still. Oh, maybe they
Who's
wish
laughing?
that.
Maybe they're secretly like an Aldi fan, and they just.
That's bold of them to
Yeah,
admit
anyway.
if that is the case.
Right, we've then got summer days. Oh, today felt like summer.
Oh yeah, it was so
Did you
lovely
get out and
today.
about?
I did. I
Beautiful.
went for a nice walk.
Sun was shining.
Saw so many dogs running around the park. It was great.
Slightly unrelated and slightly gross, but a dog actually weed on my bag today. I just looked across and there was a dog and there was my bag. Anyway,
Moving on.
on to better things. We have got Kumdare's Instagram. Just going to shout that out. Moving
Shouting
on.
yourself out there. Yep.
Takeaways.
Yeah.
Oh, can I crowbar a story into this?
If you'd like to.
I got a takeaway with my housemate Lawrence back during lockdown. We got Nando's. We discovered that the takeaway didn't quite reach our university accommodation, so we had to run down North Road, pelt it down because the delivery driver was agreeing to leave it at the end of a car park.
Wow.
And he was early, so we had to sprint down the road to pick up our Nando's. It was just left on the side of the road.
I've actually had to do that at home before because the Uber Eats delivery cutoff is the road next to ours. So I used to get it delivered to my friends and go and pick it up from her house. It was desperate times. I love living near the city now, though. That is ideal.
Much better.
Should we have one more before we move on to tonight's actual events?
Anything caught your eye?
My dog.
Oh, fantastic.
I can understand that. I think pets have been the happiest during this pandemic because
All the
the
attention.
owners have been at home the whole
Yeah.
time. They're loving it. But
They're not left alone for hours. They've just got constant attention.
yeah,
Oh.
they're like, can this stay the same? I'm not
Right.
sure if everyone else feels the same.
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
Would you like to tell us what's actually going on tonight, though?
We shall get a bit more structure going with this. So, yeah, as we said, we are talking about hope tonight. And so we will be hearing from Fergal. He'll be back talking to us again about real hope. I think the question he's looking at is how our hope makes us, how our world makes us long for hope. So yeah, we'll be hearing from him. And then after that, we'll be hearing a story from Albert, just his story of how he has faced challenges in his life, but he has overcome them with the hope that he has found in Jesus, which Fergal will be chatting about. So I believe we're handing over to Fergal now.
Yeah, we're going to welcome him, hopefully.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello. How are you this
Hey,
evening?
how are you guys?
Oh, good,
I'm
thank you.
good. I think we're talking at the same time. I am good. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you, Silas?
I'm good. I'm tired of getting to the end of the week, but
You can
I'm
do
doing
it.
well.
Another evening, yes.
Excited.
And we've just been chatting about our highlights of the week. What's been your highlight of the week, the event that you've run or listened to this week?
Oh, loads of them have been really great. I really loved last night with Luke talking about real love, not just because he mentioned How I Met Your Mother, the TV show. I'm not saying that he knows how. Anyway, just because that's one of my favorite TV shows. And yeah, but it was just it was a really moving talk. I really loved listening to it last night.
Fantastic.
Bro. And what are you going to share with us tonight, though?
We're looking at real hope. We're looking at how our world makes us long for hope. Looking at all of these things that we've been talking about in terms of why we've needed hope, especially over this last year, but broader than that as well. And what is it, the thing that gives us the deepest hope, the realist hope?
Well, hey, he's joined the pun gang.
Yes,
Hey.
he has. For better or for worse, he has. That sounds great. So we'll hand over to you now. Thank you.
Amazing. At the start of the pandemic, all of us got a letter that was given to every single household in the United Kingdom from Boris Johnson. It said, "It's important for me to level with you. We know things will get worse before they get better." It was a letter sent to every household with a mix of realism and hope. At the start, no one knew what worse or better meant. No one knew about all the amazing and beautiful things that would happen over this year. No one knew about how we would all come together to clap and applaud every Thursday night, about Captain Tom, about some of the amazing inventions that have been made during this time. There have been lots of local artists and street artists over this time who've been brightening up people's days by leaving messages out on pavements, whether that's by arranging things in stones or painting or whatever. Lots of music. Taylor Swift's 2 albums came out in the same year. It's amazing. And yet at the same time, this year those things have been beautiful because it's also been such a tough year. How many families have argued and maybe separated over how they interpret lockdown restrictions? How many families have argued over who should visit who over Christmas? We don't just think about the things that are happening in families, but also across the world, economically and politically. How much has happened over this last year and how much is going to roll on way beyond when the pandemic is over? Millions of people have survived having coronavirus, but there are millions as well who have mourned the loss of someone to it. And that huge number in no way diminishes the grief of a single person who is missing someone. I can't pretend to imagine what this year has been like for you. Back in April, I remember reading an article about a father, and he was recalling the London Bridge attack of 2017. He watched the news that night with his newborn son, and watching what was happening, he said, "It won't always be like this. It's not always like this." Now, though, living through the pandemic, he reflected back on what he said, and he says, "I realized that it's not always like this was a foolish promise. I have no idea what awaits my son's lifetime. Good intentions are no match for the harsh, unexpected gales of existence." Before COVID-19, normal life was already fraught with news stories of tragedies. Most of us have never lived through a national or international crisis, but in many other countries, crisis is normal life. Is this it? Is this our world? The comedian, the sitcom writer, and the animal rights activist, Ricky Gervais, once tweeted recently, "Nearly 14 billion years of non-existence, one life, and then back to non-existence forever. Enjoy it while it lasts." He tweeted that with a photo of him with his dog, and it doesn't take much to put a smile on my face if there's a dog in a photo. And I can't imagine anyone being gloomy on a day that they're with a dog. But enjoyment is just one emotion. Throughout this global health crisis, we've experienced a whole range of them. But if that story is right, if this is it, then our happiness counts on this world, our life getting better. But not everyone is so lucky. What if it never gets better? That kind of optimism can be cruel. Our world may make us long for hope, but in this view, we're entirely on our own. The secular Western view is one of the only stories in history that places entire significance and meaning on life here and now while it lasts. Everyone tells a different story to make emotional sense of the world, no matter what culture you're from. Maybe our short life is sandwiched between billions of years of nothingness on either side. Or maybe human life is heading somewhere eternal. Whatever the story is, it must grapple with the issue of suffering with both realism and hope. We try to make the most of our lives here and now because all of us are affected by the reality of time, that we only have so much. Can you imagine what the total sales figures would be of every cream, all the makeup, all the fitness classes and nutrition bars that promise to make you look younger and feel younger? Eddie Izzard, the comedian, in an interview once said, "I have a very strong sense that we are only on this planet for a short length of time. Religious people think it goes on after death. My feeling is that if that is the case, it would be nice if just one person could come back and let us know it was all fine, all confirmed. Of all the billions of people who have died, if just one of them came through the clouds and say, you know, it's me, it's brilliant, there's a really good spa, that would be great." Last night we heard about real love. We heard about why Jesus died. Let's pick up the story from Luke's first century account, a historical account from the first century based on eyewitness testimony about the life of Jesus. So let's pick up the story. On the first day of the week, very early in the morning, the women took the spices that they had prepared and went to the tomb. They found the stone rolled away from the tomb, but when they entered, they did not find the body of the Lord Jesus. While they were wondering about this, suddenly 2 men in clothes that gleamed like lightning stood beside them. In their fright, the women bowed down with their faces to the ground, but the men said to them, "Why do you look for the living among the dead? He is not here. He is risen. Remember how he told you why he was still with you in Galilee? The Son of Man must be delivered over into the hands of sinners and be crucified, and on the 3rd day be raised again." Then they remembered his words. When they came back from the tomb, they told all these things to the 11 disciples and to the others. It was Mary Magdalene, Joanna, Mary the mother of James, and the others with them who told the apostles. But they did not believe the women, because their words seemed like nonsense. Peter, however, got up and ran to the tomb. Bending over, he saw the strips of linen lying by themselves, and he went away, wondering to himself what had happened. While they were still talking about this, Jesus himself stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." They were startled and frightened, thinking that they saw a ghost. He said to them, "Why are you troubled? And why did doubts rise in your mind? Look at my hands and my feet. It is I myself. Touch and see. A ghost does not have flesh and bones, as you see I have." When he had said this, he showed them his hands and feet, and they still did not believe it because of joy and amazement. And he asked them, "Do you have anything here to eat?" They gave him a piece of broiled fish, and he took it and ate it in their presence. Imagine thinking that you've seen him alive. You saw him die. And now, can you imagine the shock and the fright, thinking that you'd seen a ghost or your mind was playing tricks on you? None of them expected the dead man to physically live again. And yet, everyone can see him eating a fish. How could any thinking person really believe this? Among historical scholarship, there is no uncertainty about the fact that Jesus was a real historical figure, attested to both in the New Testament and in other sources. He really was crucified under the Roman governor Pontius Pilate, died and was buried. His followers claim to have seen him alive after his death by multiple people at once. The reality of the empty tomb is undisputed. Had the tomb not been empty, the body would be there and the rumors of his resurrection would be over. It's what lawyers call common ground. The dispute is over why it was empty. Some claim that Jesus didn't really die. Eyewitness testimony includes, though, in the brutality of crucifixion, the spear that pierced his side to make sure he was dead. Roman centurions and soldiers would have been highly skilled and disciplined to make sure that these criminals were dead. But even if he was, the bloodied, beaten Jesus, if he was alive, would have been in no shape to remove the stone from the tomb or convince anyone that he was victor over death. Perhaps Roman officials who guarded the tombs took it. But if they found the claims that he was the king treasonous against Caesar, then they surely would have found it even more repulsive to say that he had beaten death. And they could have stopped Christianity before it began by presenting the body. The religious men who hated the idea that Jesus was worshipped as a god could have done the same, but neither did. Had his followers passed the Roman guards, moved the enormous stone and kept it all quiet under wraps, well, even then they were imprisoned and killed for their claim that Jesus was alive. These men had nothing to gain, and they would not have died for something that they knew they'd made up. In the first century, this is incredibly sexist, but women's testimony wasn't considered valid, even in a court of law. Even today, we are still struggling against that, as many women find that they're not being believed as much as men in court. It's a horrible fact of human history. But Luke says that women were the ones who found the tomb empty first. If men invented this story in that century, it would have been a different story. The reason we have the women finding the empty tomb is because they did find it empty. Jesus' life, even in his resurrection life, regularly protested against the sexist cultural norms of his day. This is why this has been a story of hope for many people, that Jesus came to overturn many of the oppressive systems of this world. One previously popular theory was that his followers hallucinated because of their grief, because they were grieving so heavily. But only individuals hallucinate, not groups together, but dozens, even crowds of people in the same room, or even up to 500 at one time, as one account says, are reported to be witnesses at the same time, and not all of them grieved. One of the religious leaders named Saul of Tarsus used to imprison Christians for saying that Jesus was alive. Then he said he saw Jesus alive. Now he is known as one of the earliest and most well-known advocates for the resurrection of Jesus around the Roman Empire. And a hallucination can't empty a tomb. Crucifixion, by which Jesus died, is meant to strip you of your humanity. It's meant to blot you out of history. The fact that you die is only part of it. The shame was part of the purpose of that long, excruciating death. No one wants to be associated with a leader who failed and was crucified. So if Jesus hadn't been raised from the dead, then surely we should have never heard of him. If we don't believe the resurrection of Jesus, I think we're forced to believe something almost as equally unbelievable to land us with the case that we have. Perhaps the reason we don't believe that miracles can happen is because we're scientific people. But are we being selective? When we don't apply that same thing to other non-scientific but just as accepted truths in history or law or mathematics or logic, are we making up our minds before we begin? High Court Judge Sir Edward Clarke noted on the evidence of the resurrection over and over again in High Court, I have secured the verdict on evidence not nearly so compelling. In the hugeness and the enormity of this claim, don't miss what was said. Why do you look for the living among the dead? He is not here. He is risen. While they were still talking, he appeared among them and said, "Peace be with you." Seeing him risen, seeing him alive, standing before them, there is no person holding a phone or watching a screen tonight for whom this news is not relevant. It's relevant for every one of us. Because all of us build our lives on making the most of life while we can. Because we're touched by the reality of time and the fact that we have only so long. No one likes to talk about death. I don't. Especially when you've lost someone. No one knows what happens because no one comes back. Except the resurrection of Jesus means that's not true. His resurrection points us to a coming world where every joy we experience now, every feast, every party, every dance, every glass of wine, every wedding, every party you could be invited to, is a glimpse of the world that we were made for, the world we were meant to belong to, a new world that has in some way already begun in his resurrection, where there is no mourning, no sickness, no sorrow, no death, no evil, no injustice, no viruses. And that means we have real hope. Jesus stands on the other side of death. He is not here, he is risen, and he stands in the midst of those who knew him, which means he is alive. And every single one of us will face him at the end of our lives. And what happens next is up to Jesus. If I've turned my back so far on knowing the God who made me, can I expect my name on the guest list? Death ultimately is separation from the God who gives us life. When you turn away from light, you end up in darkness. When you reject love, you're disconnected. When you turn away from life, you end up with death. All of us have separated ourselves from him. But the whole point of Jesus' death, the whole point of his death, where he suffered the cost of my wrongdoing, is that despite the monumental failures in my life, forgiveness can be mine for free. If I open my life up to him, if I invite him in, then I can breathe, knowing I'm free to receive this life from him. It's been a pleasure to be here all week talking about the life that Jesus offers us. Real purpose, real justice, real freedom, real love. Is there anything holding you back from believing in this real hope today? Is there any reason you would say no? Is there anything holding you back still? If it's the truthfulness of Jesus' claims, or he stands as a man in history whose tomb is empty and was seen by many, what do you make of him? I've met enough people who had loads of questions before becoming a Christian, and then after they've become a Christian, they've realized that they could have asked those questions after becoming a Christian, because part of the fun of it is that you're asking questions because you're getting to know a real living person, a real living hope giver, a real living savior who offers life to you. Friends, the resurrection of Jesus means that this is real. He invites you into a world without end, life everlasting, to know the truth of what life is for. In a moment, we're going to hear this story from a student at our uni who's found how this has made a big difference to their life, having this real hope. But while you watch, you can know the solid historical fact of Jesus' resurrection means we're not kidding ourselves if we believe it. Friend, this could be you. I'm aware that there might be loads of different people watching, but I want to speak to you as if you're the only person watching. This could be you. Is there anything holding you back from saying yes to him? This could be you if you say yes to him. Will you receive it? He welcomes you home. If you would, you can pray this prayer silently in your head. Jesus, I think you are alive. I don't want to live without you. I want to know the life you made me for. Jesus, you are alive. I don't want to live without you. I want to know the life you made me for. Amen. Which means I agree, or so be it. Just before we watch this story, there's going to be a link that you can fill in a form and give us feedback. If you've been interested, if you have more questions, please leave your details. We'd love to be in touch. We'd love to tell you more about some events that are happening after this week, where you can keep finding out more, or how you can go back and watch some of the talks that have been before. There have been some big claims made tonight. I know that. But maybe you'd watch it and say that you believe. Even if there are parts where you have huge questions, you might say, I believe enough. Let me tell you this, there is nothing more exciting than that. What gives Jesus joy is welcoming you home. Please leave your details so that we can celebrate with you and answer any questions that you might have. We're going to watch this story now. Maybe you want to know what difference this can make in your life. Then watch this story and know he's risen. This is real hope.
Hi, my name is Albert. I am a third year economics student at Cardiff University, and I grew up in a small village in Devon. Most importantly, I am a Christian, someone who believes in Jesus Christ and his resurrection, and tries to always unsuccessfully follow him in everything they do. For me, there have been many stages of my life so far where I have felt hardships. I'm sure there'll be many more to come. But for me, there have been points where I look back and say, that was tough. Firstly, I was bullied quite badly at school from the age of 8 until I was about 16. I wouldn't say that I was bullied severely. I was never beaten up, and it wouldn't be a particularly good storyline for a TV show. But feeling unwanted and hated by what seemed like everyone for the most part of my childhood really took its toll on me. During this time, I didn't have any friends at all, so I had no one to turn to, and as you can imagine, I felt lonely and hopeless. Since this period, I have struggled to form real, lasting friendships and relationships with people due to a lack of trust and fear of rejection. And to this day, I have anxieties and fears about the future, in case I'm not good enough for others, or that I won't impress people. Secondly, between my first and second years of sixth form, my mum was diagnosed with a rare type of cancer called a lymphoma, which currently has no cure. But many patients survive with it for a long time with the right treatment, so that is a blessing. Unfortunately, since then, with the doctor still unsure as to the cause, my mum has suffered from severe neuropathy in her legs and she can't walk independently. Having only a small number of friends at that point, I found it difficult to share how this made me feel. So I didn't really talk to my mum about anyone, save for my family and my form tutor. More recently, just before my final A-level exams, my brother and sister-in-law's daughter was stillborn, and my dad's mum, my gran, died within the same week, which was Easter week. In addition to my mum going through chemotherapy, this was probably the point in my life where I felt the lowest. So my parents are Christians and have always been heavily involved in my church at home. I have 3 older brothers, all of whom are committed Christians. And from that Christian grounding, I first would have said I started following Jesus at the age of 7. I think the timing of that was quite significant as school became quite difficult for me almost immediately afterwards. During my time at school, although I would have said I was a Christian, when I experienced hardships, Jesus was not the person I would turn to. Looking back, I may have said it was due to a lack of Christian friends, but really, I didn't understand who Jesus was and the hope that having a relationship with him could give me. So now, when I worry about people not liking me or being rejected by others, I can look to Jesus, who was rejected by his closest friends and was murdered on a cross, and know that he still loves me, especially when I reject him, and that he is the friend who will always have my back, no matter what. My mum still has cancer, and she'll always have cancer barring a miracle from God. Whenever my mum goes in for chemo, however, Jesus gives me an incredible sense of peace. As a Christian, I believe that when we die, Jesus will give us new bodies on a new earth, where there will be no hate, no bullies, no blemishes, no death, no mutating cells, and no tears. While my mum may not walk unassisted again, when she sees Jesus, she will run into his arms. And that is the greatest hope I believe there is. Once again, God's timing is very deliberate. When my niece and gran died over the Easter week, God once again reminded me that he is in control. My niece died on Good Friday, the day on which Jesus was crucified. But the story doesn't end there. On the 3rd day, Jesus rose from the dead, showing that he has ultimate power over death. In this world, everything comes to an end. My degree, the night out in the SU, my career, my friendships, my relationships, and most importantly, life on this earth comes to an end. On that weekend, my brother's church posted the following message. For those who knew, loved, and followed him, the death of Jesus on that Friday was the darkest of days, and about as bad as they could imagine things getting. And yet, it is known as Good Friday. Why? Because God was still in control on the Friday when the sun stopped shining and the earth shook. But his ways are not our ways. His plans are higher and better than ours, and our understanding is limited. And he loves us. So no matter how dark it is on Friday, no matter how far gone our situation appears, Good Friday shines brightly in our calendar as a reminder that God is always in control. And the whole of heaven shouts to us, don't give up, keep on, trust Him. It may be Friday today, but Sunday is coming. Christians are known for asking questions in response to a question itself, so I won't make an exception here. In response to the question, I'd ask, what are you looking forward to in the future? A good career, many friends, good health, lots of money. Without Jesus in the equation, none of these lasts. The COVID-19 pandemic and subsequent lockdown have completely changed the university experience. Whilst in the UK, millions have lost their jobs or have been put on the furlough scheme. In the UK, over 100,000 people are known to have died after catching COVID, and 23% of the UK's population are now in poverty. I feel hopeless a lot of the time and have fears for the future, and I continue to worry and be anxious about relationships and about the future in general. But I have a friend called Jesus who promises to carry me through it and stand before God in my place and take on all the ways I rejected Him to go my own way. A book in the Bible called John, chapter 3, verse 16 says this: God so loved the world that He sent His one and only Son, Jesus, so that whoever believes in Him and puts their hope in Him will have eternal life and will not die. Even though I thought God had abandoned my family and that He had taken so much away from me, I have chosen to live for Him, because all that I have now, He has provided, including the promise of eternal life with Him, the greatest gift imaginable.
That was so good. Thank you for that, Albert. Just really real stuff. I guess that's why we call it Real Week, because this is very real stuff. They're very real struggles we go through. They're very real hard times. But as both Fergal and Albert said, this is real. I absolutely love the fact that both Albert and Fergal point to the fact that this is for you. It's for anyone. And as Fergal said, it's for free. Jerry touched on it in her testimony on Wednesday night in her story about the fact this is a gift. Jesus offers this, and it's offered to you as well as it's offered to us. It's already been offered to us and we've accepted, and it's offered to you as well. And so we'd love for you to respond. As Fergal said, that we'd love for you just to, give us some feedback, but more importantly, just to respond to the questions that have been asked tonight, to the big topics. Laura, you just want to tell us how to do that?
Yeah, as there has been for the past few nights, there is a link to a Google feedback form in the comments, and I believe a QR code is going to appear as well if you would like to scan that. If you are interested in what's been said tonight, or you have any thoughts that you'd like to leave with us, please do fill that out and let us know what you thought, any reflections you have. And also, please do leave us your contact details if you'd like us to get in touch about any of those. As Fergal said, there have been a lot of big claims made tonight and over the course of the past week. And we're aware that some people watching might believe some or all of them. And if that is the case, we are just overjoyed for you. We said this last night and we said it the night before. We believe that choosing to follow Jesus is the best decision that anyone can make. And Albert reflected on that in his story just now. So we would really love to chat with you about that and answer any more questions you might have. So please do leave your contact details in the feedback form if you would like us to contact you and let you know about other things that are going on over the next few weeks. So yeah, leave us your name and your number in the Google form at the QR code if you would like us to do that.
And again, if you are watching this with someone, maybe it's someone from the CE who's invited you along, turn to them, ask them a question. Ask them what they think about all of this. Ask them about their faith. Ask about what they've put their trust in, put their hope in, how it's actually impacted their life. We're going to be back shortly just to give you a few more details about what is coming in the next couple of weeks. But we just want to give you the time just to respond. Turn to someone, fill in the form, maybe just take some time just to think about what you've heard. Maybe right now isn't the time for you to respond. Maybe you want to go away and think about it. Just can give you some space now. So Nathan's going to play a song. Laura's going to shimmy off the stage to adhere to social distancing. Take this time, reflect, and fill in the form.
I'm going to sing a song now, but I just want you to know this was written from God's perspective to you. Why are you striving these days? Why are you trying to earn grace? Why are you crying? Let me lift up your face. Just don't turn away. Why are you looking for love? Why are you still searching as if I'm not enough? So where will you go, child? Tell me, where will you run? Where will you run? 'Cause I'll be by your side whenever you call, in the depth of night, whenever you fall. And please don't fight these hands that are holding you. My hands are holding you. Look at these hands at my side. They swallowed the grave on that night when I drank the world's sin so I could carry you in and give you life. Yeah, I wanna give you life, and I'll be by your side whenever you call, in the depth of night, whenever you fall. And please don't fight these hands that are holding you. My hands are holding you by my side whenever you fall, in the depth of night, whenever you call. And please don't fight these hands that are holding you. My hands are holding you. Because I love you. I want you to know that I love you. I'll never let you go, no. And I'll be by your side whenever you call, in the depth of night, whenever you fall. And please don't fight these hands that are holding you. I'll be by your side whenever you call, in the depth of night, whenever you fall. And please don't fight these hands that are holding you. My hands are holding you.
If you're still filling out the form, please, there's no rush to get that finished. There's no deadlines here. Do carry on. This does bring us to the end of Real Week. We've had some fantastic evening meetings here. We've heard about purpose and justice and freedom and love, and then tonight, hope. Which has some fantastic topics. And then on top of that, we've had great lunch bars, just dealing with some other questions and some great international events. And it's been a fantastic week. It's been such a joyful experience just being able to put this on and to share these events with you. If you do want to go back and rewatch some of them, or if you missed one and you'd like to go back, they are all available on the Facebook page or on the YouTube channel. But just as Albert said, it might be Friday, but Sunday's still to come. There is still more to come after this lovely Friday. I won't call it Good Friday, but it's a very lovely Friday. What's coming up?
There is indeed. Today isn't actually the end of Real. It might be the end of Real Week, but it's not the end of Real, because we have some real life follow-up sessions, which are on the screen now, happening over the next few weeks on Monday evenings, and they will be informal Zoom sessions to chat about the topics that have been explored this week even further, and a chance for anyone to ask any questions they have. Whether you feel like you've responded tonight to what's been shared by Fergal and Albert, or another night this week, or if you still have 100 questions still to ask, you are so welcome to join us for Real Life happening on Monday evenings starting this Monday. So if you would like to join us for those, please do leave us your contact details. I have said that a few times, but yes, we can send you the information about that. We'd love you to fill out the form, leave us your contact details, or send us a message on the Real Cardiff page, or even message the CU member or whoever invited you, and I'm sure they can get you connected with those sessions. Yeah.
I believe you're hosting them.
I am hosting those.
So I was about to say goodbye, and that this is the last time you'll see our beautiful faces on screen, but Laura's going to be there.
Yeah, I'll
Don't
be back.
worry. Laura will be there on Monday night to host you through the event.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, actually. Yeah, so it's not actually goodbye from me. If you are coming along to Real Life, then I shall see you on Monday.
But for me, it is goodbye. It's been a lovely 5 days. I feel like we've really grown a friendship over these 5 days.
A little bit of a one-sided one. I feel like they know everything about us.
Yeah.
And
maybe that's what we should put in the feedback as well.
would you like to be friends? Based off what you've seen this week, would you like to be friends?
I'll put this in my my bio, just a link to the highlights reel. If you have a highlights reel, this is not the time for this discussion. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Genuinely, thank you for tuning in. Even if this was just the first time you tuned in, thank you so much. We really hope you've enjoyed it. We really hope that you have had something to think about, and more than that you've heard some real truths. So yeah, go back over the week, have a think, have a rewatch, contact us. Yeah, the ball's in your court. I was going to say that as we end. Yeah.
And hand back over to Nathan.
We are. So thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.
Bye.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. And how precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. My chains are gone, I've been set free. My God, my Savior has ransomed me, and like a flood His mercy reigns, unending love. dangers, toils, and snares. I have already come. 'Tis grace has brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. My chains are gone, I've been set free. My God, my Savior has ransomed me, and like a flood, His mercy reigns. Unending love, amazing grace. My chains are gone, I've been set free. My God, my Savior has ransomed me, and like a flood, His mercy reigns. Unending love, amazing grace. And I'm singing how marvelous, how wonderful, and my song shall ever be. How marvelous, how wonderful is my Savior's love for me. I stand amazed in the presence of Jesus the Nazarene, and wonder how He could love me, a sinner condemned unclean. And how marvelous, how wonderful, and my song shall ever be. How marvelous, how wonderful is my Savior's love for me. He took my sins and my sorrows and made them His very own. He bore the burden to Calvary and suffered and died alone. How marvelous, how wonderful, and my song shall ever be. How marvelous, how wonderful is my Savior's love for me. Singing how marvelous, how wonderful, and my song shall ever be. How marvelous, how wonderful is my Savior's love for me. When with the ransomed in glory, whose face I at last shall see. It will be my joy through the ages to sing of his love for me. I'll be singing how marvelous, how wonderful, and my song shall ever be. How marvelous, how wonderful is my Savior's love for me. Once I thought that love was meant for anyone else but me. Once I thought that no one knew the way. Now it only goes to show how wrong we all can be. And now it seems he loves me more each day. His love is warmer than the warmest sunshine, softer than a sigh. His love is deeper than the deepest ocean, wider than the sky. His love is brighter than the brightest star that shines every night above. And there is nothing in this world that can ever change his love. Something happened to my heart the day that I met him. Something that I've never felt before. And that something is that he has buried all my sin. And now it seems he loves me more and more. His love is warmer than the warmest sunshine, softer than a sigh. His love is deeper than the deepest ocean, wider than the sky. His love is brighter than the brightest star that shines every night above. And there is nothing in this world that can ever change his love. Talk of love but never seem to feel. They face the world and say that things are fine, but deep inside must run the thought that this is not for real. And I hope that they will realize in time. This love is warmer than the sunshine, softer than a sigh. His love is deeper than the deepest ocean, wider than the sky. His love is brighter than the brightest star that shines every night above. And there is nothing in this world that can ever change his love. How wonderful, and my song shall ever be. How marvelous, how wonderful is my Savior's love for me. Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You have been so, so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. And you have been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it. Still you give yourself away. And oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. When I was your foe, still your love fought for me. I've been so, so good to me. If I was no worth, you paid it all for me. You have been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, and leaves the 99. And I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it. Still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. Yeah. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming out to me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming out to me. Know the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Whoa, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. And I don't deserve it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Whoa, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, and leaves the 99. And I really earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming,